What's the worst case of rich kid syndrome you've seen? One of my college classmates wrecked his Range Rover over winter break and came back in an Aston Martin. In middle school we were asked to draw our homes for some assignment and hand it in at the end of class. A popular, extremely wealthy kid that sat behind me raised his hand and smugly asked the teacher for another sheet of paper because he couldn't draw it all on one page. His friends just snickered, but I was cringing. Even at 12 I remember thinking it was such a snobby thing to say. Worked with this kid who was a good kid, but completely disconnected from financial reality for most people. Had just moved out west from another state and was trying to get on like a normal adult. He went to buy a new car and was shocked that they couldn't just bill his dad for it, since they didn't know him. He ordered a bottle of wine at a restaurant and the sommelier said, "Certainly, sir." Then the sommelier whispered, "Just for your knowledge, sir, the bottle is $700. He looked straight at him and asked, "Is that a lot?" The sommelier honestly didn't know how to answer. Good kid. And he got a lot better. But he just didn't know. Once he casually told his mom he needed some help with bills and she deposited $20,000 into his account. Went to school with a crazy rich kid. His parents divorced and each decided to buy his love. Mommy owned a real estate agency, so she got him a license and spoon-fed him enough sales for a six-figure income. The dad then bought him a magazine. Yes, the dad bought a magazine for his 24-year-old cokehead son to run. Worked about as well as you'd imagine. I work for a dentist and her son is a spoiled brat. He was at the office one day because she had to bring him to an appointment later that day. He got bored and went out wandering around some of the local shops. He came back a little while later and without any preamble walked up to her and said, "Give me $80." She asked him what it was for and he just repeated himself and she gave it to him. A guy looked at my $2,000 beater car in college and commented that it must have been really cheap and guessed $15,000. Edit. For anyone curious, it was a Kia Rio 2005 with 120k miles on it. Someone's sister got $600 shoes, so the parents got the other kid's shoes of the same price to stop their complaining. My fraternity brother's monthly allowance of $2,000 was cancelled from his parents because he made a few F's. He then called his aunt for a separate allowance. I knew a girl whose allowance was $90 a day. She got into trouble, so they cut it to $90 a week. Went to HS with this insufferably spoiled kid. Family had a couch in their home's elevator. And classical European sculpture, this was in the U.S. Kid talked down to Slash about the less fortunate on a regular basis. Once made fun of me for picking a coin up off the ground. In high school a kid was bragging that he got in his third fender bender in his old car, 3 years old, that his parents gave him but he hated. So his parents were buying him an entirely new, current year, car to incentivize him to drive better. This kid back in high school was whining, I mean literally whimpering, that he had to wait something like 6 weeks for his custom-built BMW to come over from Germany. My mom's friend used to buy new clothes each season and throw out the old ones. She had to be taught by her husband to save them for the next year. I worked at a Starbucks and we hired a new guy, who I was training. At one point, I had to show him how to clean the restrooms. I grabbed the bleach and hand him a pair of gloves and he looks at me in disgust and says, "We don't have a maid to clean the bathrooms?" He quit the next day, LOL. So my best friend's wife teaches at a ritzy $40k per year private school. As in, $40,000 a year for elementary and middle school. I think the HS is like $50k plus. Well, she teaches 7th or 8th grade. I can't remember. And she said she always goes around the class after the summer break and asks them what they did over the summer, and she particularly remembers one kid complaining about how much his summer sucked because he was stuck on his parents' yacht all summer and they didn't even take it to anywhere cool. Just Italy. I wouldn't say rich kid, but definitely spoiled brat who thought he was rich. Befriended him in 5th grade over our interest in the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. First time I hung out at his place, I noticed just how littered with stuff his room was. Some even unopened. I showed him some rare card that I had recently pulled from a pack. He got super jealous and angry that I wouldn't trade or sell it to him. He immediately got up and walked over to the family computer and booted up a site where you could buy cards and various other toys and such. Completely ignoring having me over, he's now on an online shopping spree adding stuff to the cart. After adding a few things, he yells, "Where's the credit card?" And immediately his older sister comes running up the stairs to yell, "Kyle, Mom said no more buying stuff online," and closes the website and shuts off the computer. Kyle then proceeds to have a crying tantrum on the floor, and I'm just standing there over him in shock at what's happening and how he's acting. I slowly stopped hanging out with him until completely avoiding him as his temperament got worse. Kid wasn't even rich either, if I remember correctly. Both of his parents were cops. Asterisk young celebrity posts a pic of a house they just bought. That house isn't that nice. My cousin's house is way nicer. Went to a destination wedding in Mexico resort. Rich kids rented a golf cart, tore through the streets and flipped the cart, injuring people and causing a huge commotion and traffic jam. A Mexican lady comes out and begins to scold them for their behavior. "You wouldn't act this way at home." Rich kid responds, "I promise you we do." It was the earnestness of his reply that got me. Babysat some rich kids. A couple gems where when we were watching a movie and she said someone was ugly because they were poor. Another was that they left their stove at the side of the road for hobos. Kid was about 11. One girl from my high school got breast implants for her 18th birthday. Her mom joined her as a mother/daughter bonding activity, followed by the daughter getting a brand new $90,000 Mercedes as a high school graduation gift. One of my friend's friends ended up paying for a night out, food and entertainment. Had go up before we got the bill and just pay. No matter how much we argued with him and tried to pay him back, wouldn't take it. Nice dude, mad baller rich. Adrian Broner, a boxer, though he was not born rich but became rich in his 20s. If you are not going by what Felix Dennis considers rich, he was supposed to be the next boxing superstar but was beaten badly and exposed. He put out a video of him in line at Walmart. He paid with a $100 bill and threw the change on the ground, saying he is a and only deals in 100s. This is a man who had 7 children by 8 women at 23. 6 years ago, and who knows how many now. He had to settle a $1 million jewelry debt earlier this year.